Welcome to the Elevated Woman's Podcast, your guide to optimal health and confidence. I'm Dr. Ade Akindipe, family nurse practitioner and women's health coach. I help women in midlife reset their bodies and reclaim their confidence. So this is the place where real talk meets real solutions. No quick fixes, no fluff, just the tools, strategies, and stories you need to break free from stubborn weight gain, balancing your hormones, and stepping into your healthiest self yet. Whether you're navigating perimenopause, menopause, or simply just tired of feeling like your body's working against you, then you're in the right place. Let's get into it. Welcome back to another episode of the Elevated Women's Podcast, where we help women in their 40s and 50s reclaim their energy, lose weight, and finally feel like themselves again. So today we are diving into one of the biggest misconceptions in midlife fitness. The myth that you need to push harder, sweat more, punish yourself, and outwork your tired hormones to lose weight. How many of you can relate with this? I know I can. That's what I've done for many years, was just hit the gym, hit it hard for 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, and then you're exhausted. Okay, let me set you free real quick. If you are working out more than you've ever done, but seeing less progress, it's not because you are lazy or unmotivated. Okay, it's because your physiology has changed. And who am I talking to? I'm talking to you women in midlife. If you are in your 40s and 50s and beyond, period. Okay, your physiology has changed. So your 40s and your 50s come with new rules. And we've talked about this a little bit in other episodes. Your hormones are shifting. Your stress response shifted. Your recovery has changed. If you've noticed you're going to the gym and it's taking you a day or so to get over that last workout, that's what's happening. Your metabolism becomes more reactive to the kind of exercise you do, not just how much of it. So this might have worked for you when you were younger, but now the strategy needs to change. So we're going to get into it, okay? Here's the good news though. Your potential does not decline. I know some women will say, well, I can't do the things that I used to. It doesn't mean you can. It just might look different. Your ability to get stronger does not decline. You can be absolutely strong in your new age. Your body is not breaking down. It's transitioning. Let's get that straight, okay? Once you understand that transition, you can finally work with your hormones instead of fighting against them. Okay, so why your workouts must change. We already talked about a little bit, but most fitness advice that we get is built for a 25-year-old woman with stable hormones, stable estrogen, stable testosterone, and recover fast, and they don't have stress. The stress that I deal with now compared to when I was 25 is a completely different thing. You are juggling multiple things. You are a spouse, maybe you have a partner, or you have work, you have multiple things that you're doing, trying to work out the way you did when you were 25. It's just not going to work, right? Estrogen becomes very inconsistent, right? Because estrogen affects muscle protein synthesis, joint lubrication, tendon elasticity, motivation, blood sugar instability. So when your estrogen is going up and down, workouts feel harder. Not because you're out of shape, but because your physiology is less predictable, okay? When estrogen fluctuates, workouts feel harder. Not because you're out of shape, but because your physiology is less predictable. Also, progesterone declines. This affects your sleep quality, inflammation, your ability to manage cortisol, your emotional resilience. When progesterone is low, the same workouts you need to breeze through can feel very, very draining. Stress. Like I said before, you're balancing multiple things. So stacking high intensity workouts on top of high stress living, it's dangerous, right? That's not fitness. So recovery is also slow. Inflammation rises. We've talked about it in other episodes. As you lose estrogen, you are at risk for actually getting more inflammation. And there's multiple reasons. If you go back to the episode where I talked about inflammation, that'll spell it all out for you. Your connective tissues rebuild slower. So some women will say that they notice they've gone to the gym and they just feel so sore, they're not able to work out the next day. Muscle repair takes longer. So the real question is, why are we training like we're 25? It's time to retrain the body, your metabolism and hormones for the body that you have today. Okay. Cardio is the place where most midlife women unintentionally sabotage their metabolism. Not because cardio is bad, but because it's the wrong type of cardio. Let's break down the science. Cardiovascular workouts. What's that? That's running on the treadmill for hours, constant HIIT classes. Those kinds of exercises can raise your cortisol level, which can already be elevated in women who are high performing. Like we said, you're juggling multiple things. You're in perimenopause or menopause. So long, intense cardio workouts can spike your cortisol even more. When cortisol stays high, you see belly fat, cravings, irritability, poor sleep, afternoon crashes. High cortisol also drives the urge for sugary foods post-workout. So you see how that can cause a cycle of I'm doing everything, but it's no longer working? Cardio equals calorie burns in the moment, right? Strength equals calorie burn all day, which is why I encourage women that are navigating perimenopause or menopause to switch their routine into strength training. So that's why women will say, I'm doing all of this cardio, but nothing is changing. But you're not building metabolic tissue, which is your muscle, when you're doing cardio all the time. Okay. When estrogen dips and stress rises and cardio is high, your body uses your muscle as fuel. What has happened? Think about what's happening there. Less muscle, slower metabolism, stubborn weight, frustration, shame, and burnout. So you cannot out cardio a hormone shift. You just can't. When estrogen fluctuates, your insulin response becomes less stable. When you have higher insulins, you're probably going to be storing more fat. That's why you may feel shaky after working out, exhausted, dizzy, ravenous after long cardio sessions. So the right cardio for women over 40 should be hormone-friendly. Cardio looks like walking, incline walking, slow cycling, low intensity, steady states, hiking. These support fat burning without spiking your cortisol levels, okay? Walking is so powerful. I know for a fact that after a walk, I feel like I can conquer anything. And you get that dopamine release without feeling overly exhausted. It lowers your stress levels, stabilizes your glucose, supports fat metabolism, improves recovery. So if you must choose between a run and a long walk, choose the walk. I'm not telling you not to run anymore. I want you to understand. It's not that you can't do cardio. It's not that you can't do run. If you're a runner, I'm not saying don't do it. The problem is when women overdo it, where you spend most of your time doing this cardiovascular, high intensity workouts, what leads to burnout. I hope that makes it clear. Let's talk a little bit about strength training. So strength training is your superpower in midlife. It is the non-negotiable thing that you need to start doing if you haven't already started. It's the most powerful metabolic, hormonal, and longevity tool that you have. More muscle means better insulin sensitivity. So if you're going to your doctor and your doctor is already telling that your blood sugars are creeping up, which is not uncommon for women that are navigating menopause or perimenopause, this is one way you can change that. If you've been doing cardio and your blood sugars are still going up, start lifting about 2 to 3 times a week. And you don't have to start off very heavy. You can even start off with body weights. It leads to better sugar control. If you're more sensitive to insulin, your sugars are going to be controlled. Lower belly fat. We know this is a problem with women as they lose estrogen. We start to gain what's called visceral fat. So more belly fat accumulates around the belly. That leads to inflammatory responses and also gives you that risk for prediabetes or diabetes, okay? Lowers inflammation. You get stronger bones, healthier joints, a faster metabolism. I tell you what, the minute I started working out, even just 2 to 3 times a week of lifting, my whole body composition changed. I look leaner and people actually thought I lost more weight, but on the scale, I was actually heavier, but leaner. I fit really great in my clothes. Initially, when I lost the weight, I felt great. And I've talked about this before, but just losing weight and feeling kind of, what word can I use to describe this? Just kind of limp. Just flat. You don't have any muscles. Everything's kind of flabby. But when you lift weights, you're stronger, you're toned, and you fit better into your clothes. Especially if you've been on a journey where you were on a GLP for weight loss. GLP is great because it helps support people who are dealing with obesity, but maybe struggle with their appetite. But one of those things is it can really blunt your appetite. And if you're not exercising and not getting enough protein, you can lose muscle. So here's where I encourage women who are on GLP support for weight loss. And when I say GLP-1s, I'm talking about like your Ozempic and Mounjaro and Wegovy. Those meds are appetite. They basically suppress your appetite, right? That message that goes from your brain to your stomach that you're hungry, you get full faster. So some people can go hours and hours without eating, which kind of supports that fasting kind of lifestyle. But if you're not careful and you're not taking enough protein into your diet, that can cause problems. So here's where you need to strength train. Moving on, strength training improves hormones. We're already at risk for hormone imbalances. So when you lift weights, you actually increase your testosterone naturally. So, and that's the other thing I notice about myself too. My mood, everything improves that you might not even need exogenous testosterone. I'm talking about like taking testosterone supplement to navigate those hormonal changes. Just lifting weights alone can do that. So I actually had to reduce the amount of testosterone I took because I just felt so great just with weightlifting. Growth hormone rises. Again, that will stimulate production of your hormones. Cortisol decreases for sure. I love my workouts in the morning, strength training. I feel much more at ease and able to conquer my day. So whatever's coming my way, I'm ready for it. Your thyroid hormone becomes more efficient. I cannot stress this enough. Your thyroid hormone is your metabolism. Imagine if you have a sluggish thyroid in midlife, it's hard to lose weight. So these are all the hormones women lose with age, and strength training, just incorporating that brings them back online again. You only need about 2 to 3 sessions per week. You don't need to do this every day. You don't need a 2-hour workout. Just consistent, progressive strength training sessions can do it. As estrogen drop, once again, your tendons lose elasticity, cartilage thins, joints become more sensitive. Strength training stabilizes every joint in your body. So what does a good strength session look like? So it's really, and I'm not by any means a physical trainer, but when you focus on movement patterns, not fancy equipment, you don't need a whole lot of fancy stuff. Even simple things like squats can really tone your lower extremities, your thighs, your calves. You have more strength when you go to pick up something, you can stand up very well. Squats, hinges, push-ups, pulls, core stabilization exercises are great. If you are interested in the kind of exercises that I do personally that has changed my whole body composition, look for that in the show notes. It's amazing. And I did this literally in about 60 days and it completely, of course, that with a good regimen of nutrition, not just exercising, but a complete, I'll show you the whole thing in terms of nutrition, how I incorporated fasting into this. That really helped change everything for me. Okay. This is the blueprint for a younger, stronger, more resilient body you have, but in this age, not when you were 25. Okay. All right. So this is the part most women skip. Recovery. Let's talk about recovery. Why do you need to recover? I know some of my women, they're like, I need to do this 6 times, 7 times a week. And they're so used to doing it, they think it's normal for them to feel exhausted all the time. That's not recovery. That's not wellness. Like I talked about before, lower estrogen slows collagen repair. Muscle rebuilding takes some time. Low progesterone reduces GABA, your calming neurotransmitter. Sleep becomes more interrupted and inflammation is higher, right? So during recovery, your body repairs those little micro tears, okay? Rebuilds your stronger muscle fibers, recalibrates your hormones, reduces inflammation. So if you don't recover, you come to a standstill. And a lot of women will say, well, I'm doing this every single day, but I'm not seeing results. Your belly fat will increase because your stress is increasing. You get more injuries. Yes, because you're not allowing recovery of your muscle fibers. Your metabolism will eventually slow down. It can't keep up. And then after a while, you're not going to be as motivated and you're done, right? Let me give you a few rules. I don't like to say rules, but maybe let's say guardrails, okay? Rule number 1, guardrail number 1. Never do 3 high intensity days in a row. That's too much. Okay, try to space them out. If you must do 2-3 times a week, space them out. Let your body recover. Alternate heavy and light days. Now, I took a big lesson from this. I remember with this recent challenge I had, I was really enjoying it. I just love weightlifting and I'm starting to lift heavier and it's exciting to see my progress. But I also got a little bit of an injury because I have one of my trainers on Peloton that says, no ego, amigo. Well, she was correct. I wanted to keep going. I wanted to keep lifting and keeping up with people that I was seeing on the video. You need to alternate and I should have just done a heavy and then a light day. Find days or do something different. Do a yoga class or completely rest the next day. Listen to your energy signals. Don't just say, because sometimes it's not laziness, it's your body, and your body will let you know if you're tired. Take a break. Sleep is also part of training. Sleeping is non-negotiable. If you're going to be lifting weights, if you're going to be doing workouts, you need to sleep. During your sleep is when your growth hormones are released, and that's where the repair is happening. You need that REM sleep, not 4 hours of sleep. You need about 7 to 9 hours of sleep so your body can recover. So walking, mobility exercises, stretching, yoga or Pilates, sauna. I love the sauna, hot tub. Get in the hot tub, get those muscles relaxed. Breath work, right? Taking deep breaths, just taking it slow on your rest days. And then, of course, nutrition with proteins and fiber. It's a strategy for you. You have to put this in there. It's not a weakness at all for you to rest, okay? Now let's go to nutrition. You need more protein, and I know I speak this all the time, protein. You need more protein in midlife, not less. It supports muscle repair, metabolism, satiety. It keeps you full. It stabilizes your blood sugar. You should aim for about 100 grams to 120 daily for midlife. So even if you can't get everything into a meal, supplements can help, especially for us busy women. Through protein bars, protein shakes. Be very careful on the contents, especially those that might have added sugars. Something to get your protein levels up throughout the day will help you not be so hungry, especially in the evenings when women tend to now wind down and they're hungrier. So if you are eating enough, whether you're fasting and you're eating enough protein during your eating window, this will help. Your body literally cannot build or maintain muscle without amino acids, which are the building blocks of the protein. So you can lift weights and still lose muscle if you're under eating protein. You can lift weights and still lose muscle if you are under eating protein. Let that sink in. Carbs. Carbs are not the enemy. Unstable blood sugar is. So the kinds of carbs you eat impacts cravings, belly fat, energy crashes. So you need to focus on complex carbs, pairing carbs with protein, fiber-rich foods, whole food carbs, right? There's going to be a list in the show notes for you to take a look at. Berries, quinoa, beans, sweet potatoes, healthy fats like omega-3s. Undereating is the biggest weight loss mistake midlife women can make. Okay, so let's put this all together into a realistic hormone-friendly weekly plan. So Monday, you can try strength training. Tuesday, walking and mobility. Wednesday, strength training. Thursday, yoga and recovery. Friday, strength or lower intensity cardio. Saturday, a long walk or a hike. Sunday, rest. This is just a little blueprint. You can make it whatever you want. The most important thing is that you're listening to your body. Your body will tell you what's enough and when to stop, okay? All right, just to close out, you are not meant to push harder. You are meant to train smarter. Your body is not breaking down, it's evolving. And when you honor this season with strength, smart cardio, proper fuel, and real recovery, your metabolism comes alive. I can tell you that for sure. It's happened with me. Your energy returns, your confidence rebuilds from that inside out, okay? All right, if this resonates with you, DM me the word strong on Instagram and I'll send you my free hormone-friendly workout blueprint. Okay, until next time, I want you to stay strong and stay consistent and stay elevated. Thank you for tuning in to the Elevated Women's Podcast. If today's episode resonates with you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with a friend who needs this conversation too. And if you're ready to stop guessing and start thriving, head over to our website. It's listed in the show notes to learn more about our Elevated Women's coaching program. That's where we take these conversations deeper and create a more personalized plan for your hormones, your weight, energy, and more. Check out our show notes. I've linked free tools and cheat sheets to help you get started right away. For more daily tips and inspiration, come hang out with me on Instagram at The Elevated Woman Coach. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Thriving Over 40 with Dr. Akindipe. Until next time, stay elevated.